Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Everyday Show. I'm Chloe.
Hello, I'm Jake, and today I will tell you this story.
Oh, this should be good. What happened?
So, a few weeks ago, I had a job interview. Everything was going fine until the interviewer asked me, "Tell me about one of your best moments." And my brain just stopped. I said, my life is good. I have many good moments. That's it. That's literally what came out of my mouth.
Jake, that's not an answer. That's basically nothing.
I know. The interviewer just kind of nodded slowly, wrote something down, and moved to the next question without even looking up. I still think about that moment sometimes, and honestly, it makes me cringe a little every time it pops into my head.
The thing is, this happens to so many English learners. You know the moment you want to talk about in your head, you can picture it clearly, but when you try to explain it in English, it comes out flat and boring.
Exactly. In my head, I was thinking about the time I ran my first marathon, but somehow my life is good is what escaped my mouth instead.
Well, today we're fixing that. We're going to learn how to talk about best moments in English with real structure and real emotion so it never sounds flat again.
And stick around until the end, because we're going to redo that interview question together, and this time, I'm actually going to sound like a real person.
A much more confident version of Jake.
Please, I need it.
So, okay, let's start with our first structure. When you want to introduce a best moment, you can say, one of the best moments of my life was.
Notice we say one of the best moments, not the best moment. It sounds more natural, and it's more honest, because we usually have several best moments, not just one.
Right. For example, one of the best moments of my life was when I graduated from university.
Or mine. One of the best moments of my life was when I finished my first marathon.
See, that already sounds so much better than my life is good, and it only took one extra sentence structure to get there.
Painfully better.
Our second structure helps us explain why the moment mattered. We say, it meant a lot to me because.
For example, it meant a lot to me because I had trained for 6 months, and I almost gave up twice.
That's a great example, because it adds context. Now people understand why this moment was actually meaningful to you, not just a random fact.
Right, it's the because part that makes people actually care about the story.
Right, here's mine. Graduating meant a lot to me because I was the first person in my family to finish university.
Wow, I didn't know that about you.
Now you do. Let's move to structure number 3, which helps us describe the emotion of the moment. I'll never forget the feeling of.
This phrase is great because it focuses on a specific sensation, not just a general idea. For example, I'll never forget the feeling of crossing the finish line.
Beautiful. Mine would be, I'll never forget the feeling of walking across that stage in my graduation gown.
You can really picture that.
That's the goal. And our final structure helps us wrap up the story with a lesson or reflection. Looking back, I realize.
For example, looking back, I realized that finishing the marathon taught me that I'm stronger than I thought.
And mine? Looking back, I realized that moment gave me the confidence to keep pushing toward bigger goals.
Those 4 structures together basically build a perfect mini-story. Introduce the moment, explain why it mattered, describe the feeling, and share what you learned.
Let's put it all together with one full example, using my graduation moment. One of the best moments of my life was when I graduated from university. It meant a lot to me because I was the first person in my family to finish university. I'll never forget the feeling of walking across that stage in my graduation gown. Looking back, I realized that moment gave me the confidence to chase even bigger goals.
That's a full emotional structured answer right there. Miles better than my life is good.
Miles better.
Quick question for you, Chloe. Does the moment always have to be something huge, like graduating or running a marathon?
Not at all. It can be something small too, like a quiet dinner with your grandmother, or the first time you cooked a meal that actually turned out well.
That's reassuring, honestly. Not everyone has a marathon story.
Exactly. The structure works no matter the size of the moment. What matters is the emotion and the meaning behind it.
Let's do one more full example together, just so people really see how the 4 structures connect. Chloe, give me a small, everyday moment this time, not something huge.
Sure, here's a small one. One of the best moments of my life was the first time I cooked dinner for my parents in my own apartment. It meant a lot to me because it was the first time I felt truly independent. I'll never forget the feeling of watching them enjoy a meal I made completely on my own. Looking back, I realized that small moment made me feel like a real adult for the first time.
That's such a simple moment, but it still sounds full and emotional because of the structure.
True, the size of the moment doesn't matter, the structure does all the heavy lifting.
I think that's really encouraging for a lot of learners who feel like their life isn't exciting enough to talk about.
Right. Everyone has moments worth sharing. You just need the right words to shape them. Before we continue, if you're finding this useful, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss future lessons.
And here's a question for you watching right now. What's one of your best moments? Try describing it in English in the comments below, using one of today's 4 structures.
I really want to read these, so don't be shy.
Also, quick mention, if you want more speaking practice like this, come join our community group. Every week, we practice talking about real-life topics just like this one, from best moments to weekend plans to travel stories. Link is in the description.
It's a great space to actually say these sentences out loud instead of just reading them silently.
Which, let's be honest, is where most learners get stuck.
All right, let's move on to our pocket words section. 5 words today, all related to memories and emotions.
Word number 1, memorable, memorable. Something that is easy to remember because it's special or unique in some way. For example, our trip to the mountains was truly memorable, especially the sunrise on the last morning.
Word number 2, overwhelmed. Overwhelmed. Having such strong emotions that you almost can't handle them. She felt completely overwhelmed with joy when she saw her family again at the airport.
Word number 3, cherish, cherish. To treasure something and hold it close to your heart, often for a very long time. I will always cherish this memory, no matter how much time passes.
Word number 4, milestone. Milestone. An important event that marks real progress in your life or career. Getting my first job was a huge milestone for me, and my whole family celebrated.
Word number 5, nostalgic. Nostalgic. Feeling a mix of happiness and longing when you think about the past. This old song makes me feel so nostalgic about my college years.
5 wonderful words. Now, let's move to smooth it out, where we fix common mistakes.
Mistake number 1. Someone might say, it was the best moment in my life. Sounds okay, right?
Almost, but the more natural version is, it was one of the best moments of my life. Remember, one of, plus, plural.
Got it. Mistake number 2. I never forget this feeling.
We say, I'll never forget that feeling. Future tense with I'll and that instead of this when we're referring back to something already mentioned.
Mistake number 3. This moment mean a lot for me.
2 fixes here. It should be, this moment meant a lot to me. Past tense meant, and we use to me, not for me.
Such a small word, but it changes everything about how natural the sentence sounds. And mistake number 4. I look back and I realized.
The natural version is, looking back, I realize. We usually keep it in present tense, even though we're talking about the past, because it's a present reflection on something that already happened. It's a small grammar detail, but native speakers notice it immediately.
Okay, I think I finally understand why my interview answers sounded so wrong. It wasn't just the vocabulary, it was these tiny grammar habits too.
Right, and that's why we practice both together in this show. Speaking of which, it's time.
Oh no.
Let's redo that interview question properly. I'll play the interviewer again.
Deep breath. I'm ready this time.
So, Jake, tell me about one of your best moments.
Sure, one of the best moments of my life was when I finished my first marathon last spring.
That sounds impressive. Why did it mean so much to you?
It meant a lot to me because I had trained for 6 months, through rain, early mornings, sore knees, and honestly, I almost gave up twice along the way.
What was that moment like when you actually crossed the finish line?
I'll never forget the feeling of crossing that finish line. My legs were shaking, my lungs were burning, but I was smiling so hard my face actually hurt afterward.
And what did you take away from that experience?
Looking back, I realized that finishing the marathon taught me that I'm a lot stronger, mentally and physically, than I used to think.
That's a fantastic answer. Very clear, very emotional, and honestly, very memorable.
Thank you. I feel like I could actually get hired this time, instead of confusing the poor interviewer.
And scene.
Night and day compared to my life is good.
Complete transformation. All right, let's recap what we learned today. 4 structures. One of the best moments of my life was, it meant a lot to me because I'll never forget the feeling of, and looking back, I realize. Our pocket words were memorable, overwhelmed, cherish, milestone, and nostalgic. And we fixed 4 common grammar mistakes along the way.
Such a useful episode. Honestly, this is one of those lessons I'll actually use in real life, not just in interviews, maybe even on a first date or catching up with an old friend.
For sure. And it works for casual conversations too. Whenever someone asks about your life story, your childhood, or even a recent trip you took.
In our next episode, we're going to talk about weekend plans in English, so you'll always have something interesting to say when someone asks how to talk about today's weather in English.
That one's going to be fun too, especially for people who always freeze when someone asks about their weekend.
I definitely used to be one of those people before all of this vocabulary practice.
All right, everyone, that's it for today's episode. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with a friend who's also learning English. See you all in the next episode.
Bye, everyone.